Coach, this past weekend you picked up 2 wins inside the Janelle Center, improved to 8-1 in conference play, extended the win streak to 10 games. Just talk about your team's performance these past 2 games.
Yeah, really proud of the way that our players came out and played and protected their home court. One of the things that we've been focusing a lot on is our consistency, and I do feel like we were really consistent in the things that we were focused on this weekend. And we did have 16 turnovers against Eastern, which I feel like that's pretty good. Considering how athletic those guys are, and they're just flying everywhere. They're very talented in that area, and we caused 26 turnovers, which I was really proud of those things. I do feel like in both games we could have rebounded the ball a little bit better, and that's what we're going to continue to work on this week, especially with our Thursday game coming up, because those guys can rebound really well. So, but overall, I was just, resilient is the only word that I can come up with. They've proven one game to the next that they can be behind in any game and come back and win it, and they never lost hope, and it's such a blessing to be able to coach players like that.
Following up on that, it's a 10-game winning streak. What's been the number one reason for success, in your opinion, along this entire winning streak?
I think it's a winning mentality. We come in every day to work, and we expect to win in the weight room. Coach Connor's done an awesome job in the weight room for us, and I feel like we've had a step up in that area. In the classroom, we expect to win, and then we come to practice every day, and there are certain goals that we're trying to get every day in practice, and if you build consistency in those areas, it'll carry over into the game, and I feel like that's what they've done. We don't come into those games thinking of reasons why we should lose it. We're going into those games thinking about how we can win every game. And the thing that I'm most proud of is we put our foot on their throats and we kept it there the whole game. There are times that we could pull back and play not to lose instead of playing to go get the win, and I felt like they did that in every game that we've played.
In your last game on Saturday, you fell behind 13-0 early. You trailed by as many as 16. So how did you guys fix your woes on offense, and then how'd you pull off that comeback win?
Well, first of all, I was doing the best I could to stay calm. I knew in that kind of situation, the worst thing that I could do is put more pressure on them. It was simply that our shots weren't falling early. I do think that we might have been able to take better percentage shots maybe, but that's one thing that Eastern does, is they're just so fast and long. They can jump, and so they're going to alter your shot in certain ways, and I do not think that we were finding the shots that we needed to early. I think as a staff we did a great job of adjusting, and we started going back into our post more later in the game, and I felt like those guys had a massive game, and they were putting the ball in the hole. I felt like if we could just see one fall, that things would be going back to normal. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that we won the other 3 quarters after the first. And so that's what we were trying to focus on, is, okay, we got to win this quarter, we got to win this quarter, we got to win this quarter. And that's what they did, and I was really proud of that.
So jumping ahead to the end of the game now, let's talk about that final sequence. They tie the game on a 3-pointer, then obviously you get the ball in the last lap for the tie game. So about that play call, Maddie Stevens gets the ball at the top, drives in quickly for a layup. Is that your go-to play in such a late game situation? Is that something you practice every day?
It is a play that we've had the whole season. It is not drawn up specifically to go to Maddie in that situation, but we knew that that's where their weakness at the time was to attack their post players, and so we knew that we wanted to get the ball in Maddie's hands. She had a slow first half, but then she caught on fire in the second half, and so we felt like that was the best hands it needed to be in, and so we figured out, we just ran one of the plays that we've always ran, but in a creative way. We drew Magic. We thought they would be focused on Magic, our shooter, coming off, so we shot her to the corner, hoping that they all would follow her, leave Maddie open, and then we would attack on the offside. The one thing that we were really telling Maddie in that timeout was, hey, it doesn't matter if you get a charge here. Like, the worst thing you can do is be passive. It's a tied ball game. Make the ref make a call. And so we told her to catch and rip through and go right to the basket and don't stop. And that's exactly what she did. And nobody really touched her the whole way. So.
Okay, I see. I wasn't sure if it was just a play for Maddie Stevens or anyone on the team. It sounds like it could go to anyone. But in that moment, what gave you full trust that Maddie would be the one to take that game-winning shot?
Yeah, I think she had it going at that time. And, you know, a leader like that on your team, she's been in those moments with us. She's comfortable with those moments. And we had full trust in that she was going to make that play and take it. You know, it takes a lot of courage to make that play at the end of the game. And we did know that we had to get it in her hand. We tried to draw those post players out on the perimeter. She's got a quick first step. You know, that's one of Maddie's best things she does is take it off the dribble and finish at the rim. And that's the play we try to get to.
On that same sequence, from your perspective, what was going through your mind in that moment?
Oh man, I felt great. I'll be honest with you. I knew if we could get Maddie going downhill, and if she wouldn't stop, we've got a great shot to win the ball game. And I wasn't sure if we could get it off in time, but we did. I mean, the fact that she caught and ripped, I was feeling great at that moment. That's Maddie's shot. She's going to hit it 10 out of 10 times for sure. And so I knew we had the momentum at that time. And when I think it's when their coach took 10 out. I think there's 3 or 4 minutes left in the game, and I felt good at that moment. Like, okay, we got them on their heels right now. They're not feeling real great about this, and we were still down about 4 or 5 at the time, but we had figured out where we were attacking at that time, and if we could just buy some time on the clock to give us enough time to win the game, and we did it, but I think we waited till the last second. I told our players I'd prefer not to start like that ever again.
So up next, Midwestern State on Thursday, your third of a 4-game homestand. What kind of matchup can we expect?
Yeah, I feel like Midwestern is a hybrid of Eastern and WT. They're going to come in. I think they have one of the, if she's not the leading rebounder in the nation, one of them. She's just so good at rebounding the ball, and that's their number 0. She's a great leader. She does everything she can to win basketball games, and she's going to have to be somebody that we look to stop on Thursday night. They're just like Eastern in that they're very athletic. They've got great post players, probably some of the best post players in the conference and maybe nation. And so we're going to have to focus on the inside game defensively, and then on the offensive end, I do feel like we can get some mismatches. We're going to have to execute, and it's all about going by game plan these next 2 games. You know, obviously Lubbock Christian is very well coached and they're disciplined, very talented. They're going to read defense. If you make a defensive mistake, they're going to read it and they're going to make you pay for it. And so we've got to stay disciplined on both ends of the floor and make sure that we're going by our game plan and not missing very many of those assignments. So, or none at all, I prefer.
Coach, of course, everybody's going to remember on Saturday the 2.7, Maddie Stevens, all of that. But in your opinion, what would you say was who or what was the biggest factor to your team catching that spark and completing the comeback?
You know, I'm going to throw Landry Morrow out today just because she was not a starter for us in this game, but she came out, and I feel like her physicality matched theirs well, her athleticism. She came out, she hit a big shot down in the stretch, which was huge. And you know, that's something that she can do, and I feel like that's what makes this team strong. Is it could be anybody on any night, and it doesn't have to be a starter this year. And you know, I feel like we're deeper than we've ever been on the bench, and I'm really proud of the way that she came in. She had 7 rebounds, 7 assists, I believe, which you know, those are quiet players, and I call them glue players because you have to have those players in order to win games like that. They're going to do everything that the team needs, and that could be different on any night. And she did exactly that, and she gave us that spark. I felt like, you know, when we went into the press, Addie and Magic were aggressive at the top, and they caused some very timely turnovers for them and dove on the ball. You just saw we won the 50-50 balls late in the game, and I do feel like that's what made the difference.
Thank you, Coach.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.